Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a layout using the brand new Citrus Twist Kids June collection. I believe it's called Explore, and I'm going to be scrapbooking, yes, you guessed it, Miami photos. I keep saying I'm almost done with these photos, and then I keep finding more photos to scrapbook. So I have the Explore collection out, and I've also cut 2 copies of this cut file from the June collection, and I have photos of my husband being all GQ model down by the bay by our hotel room, and I love how bright these colors are combined with the colors of this gorgeous stripe. And now I have printed out 2 copies of this striped paper. Obviously it's traveler's notebook size, so I'm going to extend it with some yellow on the outside edges, but I flipped this paper horizontally so that the page is mirrored, or the pattern is mirrored. I don't know which one I want to use, if I want to go this way or if I want to go this way. I'm thinking the other way, thinking I would like that better, but with these yellow papers on the outside, this way kind of looks cool too. Not decided yet, I'll think about it. But then I want to cut some of that stripe with these really cool cut files. I don't know if I'll use both, but I have 2 cut out. And then I'll have these photos of my husband that I'm going to work with. And so I already pulled out the embellishments from the die cuts and the printable die cuts that I thought would work with this page. So I have these ready to go. Then I also have the puffy stickers and the chipboard ready to go, plus the little tiny washi tape. And then there is a white alphabet, and I have some journaling cards too, so I'm not quite sure what direction I'm going yet, but I pulled out everything I could possibly need. I'm also keeping out this paper specifically because I really like this Go See Do, and This Is the Place. I probably might fussy cut these out. I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure about anything yet, so let's get started and see where this goes. Alrighty, so I decided fairly quickly that I definitely wanted the stripes to sink down and meet in the middle rather than anything else, so I added my yellow strips to the outside, and now I'm going to mirror these cut files across the page so that they sort of mirror the stripes in the background too. Like the cut files go up and then down, whereas the stripes in the background go down and then up. I don't know. Like, there's things that I do while I scrapbook that I don't really pay attention to, but when I watch the video back, I'm like, oh, I made that decision because in my brain, without thinking about it, that made sense to me as far as like symmetry wise. So I'm going to stick down these whole cut files. I love the way it's kind of like, it almost looks like a ladder in the background with the photos climbing it, almost like if you had some sort of pegboard or something on your wall and you were just sort of pinning layouts to it, or pinning photos to it. I really liked the effect that that gave. I printed one of my photos larger than the other one, my favorite photo obviously, larger than the other ones to obviously create emphasis on that photo, but also it keeps it from being repetitive. If all the photos were the same size, then it was sort of, there would be nothing to stand out, right? There would be nothing to really draw your eye. So it keeps it from being repetitive. So I put that card behind the photo. I realized after I had stuck the photo down that I had wanted that card to sort of be a mat behind the photo. It says happy to be here. I thought it worked, especially since there's going to be a lot of happy on the page. So found my happy place. And then the title is going to be Hello Happy. So it just kind of all works together. So I started with the Explore collection, but I also brought in some other themed embellishments from Citrus Twist that I've gotten recently, either from the Travelog collection or just previous product that I received from them. That the good thing about Citrus Twist kits, or the fun thing about Citrus Twist kits, is that almost everything matches perfectly. So I can pull from older collections and it's going to match my newer collections perfectly. sometimes there's additional colors or colors that aren't included, but like the color tones throughout all of their collections are about the same. They all work together really well. I decided to use this really thin washi that came in the Explore collection. If you know me, you know I'm not a huge washi person, but I really liked just the little pop of color that it was giving over there. Plus, it sort of mimicked those thin stripes in the background, the thin stripes on the cut file. So I just kind of like the way that that worked together. I'm using the chipboard, or I pulled out the chipboard and the puffy stickers and started incorporating those as well. I really wanted to repeat those circles that I used on the right hand side on the left hand side. So I'm sort of adding the larger embellishment so that I can then start adding smaller circles and things like that. So one thing that happens with this page is I definitely don't think ahead very well, which is a common thing for me. It's just I fly by the seat of my pants when I'm scrapbooking. I do have like sort of a plan to start with, but I just really like to feel my way around the page when I'm scrapbooking. I don't love too much of a plan in advance because it doesn't feel as organic to me. It just feels like I'm sort of following a recipe. So because of that, sometimes things work out really well and perfectly, and sometimes things go awry. So in this layout, things went awry. So what I want to talk about is recovering from things that you think you can't recover from. And once I stop playing with all of these circles, I decide, you know what this layout needs? More words, more stamping, more things. So I get out my stamps, and we'll see that in just a second, and it all goes downhill from there. But that's okay. We can fix it. We can fix anything if we're willing to just adapt our plans a little bit. So I've got all of these circles, and I really, really, really should have started winding this up and stopped here, but nope, that's not how I roll. I really wanted to add in some more blue because I had blue on that bliss with the palm trees, and so I added in that Without a Care and Happiness right here to sort of add more of that royal blue because it obviously is not in the Explore collection. So I needed to make sure that I added enough points of blue in there that it would not look like an accident. So we're just going hog wild with the circles here. I actually really like it. The thing that I was struggling with just a little bit was that there was a lot of orange between his pants or his shorts and the embellishments that I was choosing. There was a lot of orange, and so I was trying to make sure that the orange pieces and the reddish orange pieces were separate enough that it didn't look like a big orange blob in the middle of the layout. So that's why I'm sort of shuffling things around over and over and over again. I'm gonna add in this blue heart rather than this orangey red one. I'll move the orangey red one over to the blue so that we've got nice balance going on with the blue. You can see there's a nice diagonal line now. And then I have this other red heart. I didn't want them in a line, so I just sort of offset the other one, put it somewhere else. And then I'm going to add these little plus signs from the Explore Puffy stickers to add in a little bit more color. And I really should have stopped here. I did not, and we're going to talk about it. But looking back, as soon as I stamped, I was like, oh, I should have stopped. It's like when a meal is so good that you just keep eating until you're in pain. That's kind of the way that this layout came together. But that's okay. So I'm adding a couple more hearts, or I'm replacing that red heart with a blue one because there was too many red hearts. Of course, more circles. I was just really struggling with the color balance more than anything, I think. Okay, so looking at everything, I'm like, all right, we need stamps. That's what we need here. So I pull out some Catherine Puller ink that matches nicely. This is fine. Wild Heart. This is where I should have stopped. I actually really like that. That's fine. I decided to add another one here that says Salty Spirit. It threw off the balance for me. It was not good. So I'm like, let's just keep adding to it until we like the balance. So I added this circular stamp. Big mistake right here. So the Salty Spirit was longer then the circle, like you can see it overlaps the circle, and I was like, I don't want the line to go through the letters, so I know what I'll do. I will just tape off half of the circle so that I can stamp just the top of the circle, and then I will do the same thing with just the bottom of the circle. Nope, bad idea. You can see when I start stamping that it elongates this circle so much that it just looks weird. Now, if I had done it with both of these stamps, maybe it would have been fine, but no, we did not like that. So I immediately start covering up pieces of this layout to make it look like, oh, I did it on purpose, I swear. So I'm covering up the parts that I don't like. I really didn't like the way that Salty Spirit looked. I just didn't like any of it. So I'm going to leave the stamp peeking out the top here, and I'm going to move around these circles some more. I'm going super fast because it literally took me forever to make this work. So I move that Without a Care up. I'm going to move this over here, stick it down here in this circle, or it's eventually going to go there. And I do come out, like, this layout is fine. It comes out great. I wish that I had not done it. Not a big deal. We came back from it and everything is fine. It's cute. I still really love the page. I love the sentiment. I love the photos. So it works. So you can come back from your oops. You just have to take a breather, reassess, and come back to it, which is what I did. But if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. You can find a link to Citrus Twist Kits in the description box below, and I will see you next time. Thank you.